Hey guys, Pat here. I just wanted to do a quick little overview on this Harbor Freight air compressor that I got many years ago. Probably pretty close to 10 years ago. I'm actually not sure if Harbor Freight themselves still sell this model, but it's the exact same compressor like you would buy from Home Depot or Lowe's, branded as Campbell Hoosfield. It's not really a bad air compressor at all. When I dug into it more, the actual compressor itself is made by Atlas Copco, which is a pretty reputable brand. I believe that this one is a 3.5 horsepower motor, 230 volts, single phase, and a single stage air compressor as well. It'll do. The CFM values are pretty good. I've never had a problem with it. Not being able to run a DA sander or an air grinder or air cutoff saw or really anything, any tools, any air tool yet. I usually keep the regulator inside the garage. This is in just a little storage shed that I made when I first bought the house, because I didn't want to. Absolutely hate hearing an air compressor run while you're working in the garage, and it just plumbs through the wall. But I usually keep it set at 90 psi, which is pretty safe for most tools. And then the tools I do have that require less air pressure, I put on those little thumb wheel regulator things if you have to turn it down. Like, you can hear it's a little bit more air bleeding off. I just drained the tank for the first time, and probably all winter, and it was, it was pretty full of water. It was probably frozen all winter. But I've been putting off doing a little bit of maintenance to it, just because it's it's been cold and whatever. And the little valve that you thread up to drain the water was stuck or seized or something like that. So I pulled the whole assembly out, and the tank still had some pressure in it, and it went flying somewhere, and I don't know where the heck it is now, but I was going to replace it all anyway, because I had bought one of these automatic compressor drain kits that Harbor Freight sells, and a while ago. It's been sitting up in my rafters. What is this one? Zoom in on that. 68244 is the kit. It looks pretty good. It's simple. Just pressure activated off of the pressure line that goes to your pressure switch. If you look, it's dark in here. But if you look down, if you look at the compressor, you'll see there's a little nylon tubing that goes down there to where the pressure switch is. Now the pressure switch is kind of hard to get to on this one, just the way I mounted it. It's under there. Little gauge, but it doesn't matter. I leave the compressor on all the time. If I really want to turn it off, I shut it off with the breaker inside the house. But normally I've had this compressor for this long, at least 10 years. I'm trying to think when I bought it. It might have been probably 04-ish, so probably going on 10 years. And it just runs and runs and runs, because I hate coming out to the garage and like having to wait for an air compressor to pump up. And so it probably refills itself 2 or 3 times a day. There must be a slight leak somewhere in one of the lines, and I just let it go, and I haven't had a problem with it yet. I've never changed the oil in the compressor. If you look, here's the sight glass, and it's still where it's supposed to be. It's starting to look a little dirty in there, so I'm probably going to change it tomorrow. I thought I had compressor oil out here, but apparently I don't. And it has been, I don't know if it's leaking somewhere, because it's been, there's like a nice, I just wiped it down, but there's been like a nice, film of oil up here on all this. I just tightened these brass bolts up a little bit. This one was a little loose, and this one wasn't really that bad. Just to see, I don't know where the oil, where it's coming from. It might even be coming from, that's the drain bolt right there, if you pull that out. To drain the oil. But I just wanted to do a couple little things to it. I wanted to check the torque values on the head. Let's see if they're still good. Yeah, that's pretty good there. The torque values that I found on the internet, I went and downloaded the manual for the actual compressor, and yeah. So I was a little worried about the you know, I don't know what they use for a head gasket in this or anything. I don't know, maybe it was something cork or paper that might have deteriorated over years. And the compressor still runs fine. I've had no problems with it. But like anything, it's good to do a little bit of maintenance from time to time. Get that stuck in there. There it is. I think this is a M6 Allen head here. And the torque rating is between 18 and 20 pounds. I have this torque wrench set at 20 pounds because it's the lowest it'll go. This particular one I have. And those are good. So I think I'm just going to drain the oil tomorrow, refill the oil, and use this automatic compressor kit on there. The only thing with this kit is you need this much clearance underneath from the ground or whatever it's mounted on to the top of the compressor, which is good if you have like a lay down compressor, which they sit up a little bit higher. But if you can see under there, you know, it's only you know 2 inches maybe off. So I'm gonna get a couple of MPT fittings and just run it straight out the side, and then have this whole assembly just out here. It's easier to get to as well. I might run it to the front with a little drain. So it'll just run out the front of this slab here. And I also I kind of messed up when I built this building. I didn't put anything in between the slab and then the actual slab of the house. So when you hear it running, it kind of vibrates a lot. So I saw these on sale at Lowe's. They're just like vibration dampers for like your washing machine or something, and they look like the perfect size. So I'm gonna jack it up and put those under there and see if that alleviates the problem of the thing shaking the whole slab of my house. Probably gonna have to redo my airline a little bit, which is okay because I wanted to put in another outlet, like a quick connect fitting out here, so that if I'm ever working out in the yard here, I can run a hose from here instead of having to try to run it all the way through the garage and around the side of the house and stuff. Because time to time I have to, it's nice to work on your tractor or something out back and not have the whole neighborhood watching you. But yeah, so this is I recommend it, buying one of these compressors if you're in the market for it. They're pretty cheap. Back when I bought this, Harbor Freight, you could still use them 20% off coupons on the air compressors, before they caught wind of that, I guess. And I think I wound up getting this for under $400 after the coupon, which is like pretty cheap. But now they're on sale used a lot. I see them on Craigslist all the time. Pretty affordable. So if you can find one, they're even better. I think now they sell, the only one they sell, I think, is the 5-horse 2-stage compressor, which is probably a better compressor. I don't see why it wouldn't be. And it's just a little bit more money. And at the time, I didn't think I needed it. But I probably, like you said, buy the best you can afford when it comes to tools, and they'll pay off. Here's the actual manual. I downloaded this off the internet. From this, apparently, I guess they're the ones that actually make the compressor, and then then sell it off to whoever. Then they can brand it however they want. But this is a pretty good information. It has everything you need to know. I kind of highlighted everything. The actual compressor on this one's a B3800. And this page has all the torque values in case you ever had to rebuild the compressor yourself. The website I found this also has all the parts too, if you ever need to work on it. There's all the information for the ratings. What else is in here? Pump dimensions, oil capacities. This is good too. It shows we're 40 weight oil. You know, and most compressor oil is pretty generic. I think that's probably worked fine for you. The electrical specifications. I'll put a link up on the video for to the website and to this specific manual in case you do own this compressor and you want to like maybe do a little maintenance to it, or if it's acting up on you. But yeah, so there it is. The Harbor Freight, you know, U.S. General Air Superior Model 660V.